don't know how to start this thing. Like, I don't know I've recorded this intro like 3 or 4 times. This is probably the 5th time, and they just don't feel right, and I'm not really sure why. And I'm actually going through a period of time where shit isn't lining up, and there's a bit of ambiguity, and that's actually what I'm going to talk about in this video. And I think a lot of people relate to this. I mean, you see me coming on here and I'm going to talk about fucking alpha and beta energy. This is the manifesto. I'm going to talk about social momentum. I'm going to talk about this, that. I'm coming at you live with a fastball, alright? You can see that, right? But I also want to show you and give justice to the other parts of me, right? The other parts where I'm not on point, where I'm not hitting the shit out of the park, because those parts are just as equally valuable as the ones where you are crushing it, where you are conquering. And this part and these times are inevitable with growth. What I want to get to, and actually this is working out quite well. The overall topic of this video is growth, okay? And it's not only external growth, but internal growth. I think a lot of people do a great job talking about external growth, talking about performing, conquering, and I'm going to talk about the 2 parts of growth. One of them is conquering, but the other one is reflection. And that's kind of what I'm going through now, and there's a lot of ambiguity and questioning involved in that. Alright, and I want to give justice to this part because the reflectionary period works in tandem with the performance period. Okay? And the performance period works in tandem with the reflectionary period. And I think a lot of people do a great job of describing how to perform better, save time, all this stuff, which is fantastic, but I don't know if a lot of justice has been given to the reflectionary period, because it's just as important. I think I have some great insight for you in this video. I think I have some massive value. I'm going to share some stuff with you, and ultimately I want you to better be able to understand where you're at and the growth that you need to perform upon yourself. Okay? The growth that basically needs to take place, and how you're going to design your life to do that for yourself. If you're interested in growth, if you're interested in becoming the elephant in the room, sit back, relax. You're going to get a lot of this video. Thank you in advance for watching. Let's do this.
All that I want in this life is the chance to do my thing. All that I want in this life is the chance to do my thing.
Yeah.
I want the top. All my people right there in the back of the spot. I need the top. If you know me, you don't know me to stop. I need the top. All my people there in back of the spot. Let them get shot. Yeah.
Growth can be freaky. Growth has been freaky for me. And for a lot of my life, I haven't been able to understand what the hell is going on as I've been growing. What the hell is going on? Dude, you're growing. It's good. Keep going. I wish somebody said that to me. I essentially wish somebody explained what I'm about to explain to you in this video. I'm making the video that I wish somebody made for me. I think you're going to get massive value out of what I'm talking about, because a lot of you are growing and then getting stifled and just reacting to your growth because you simply don't know what it is. And I've been doing that for my entire life, okay? This video is ultimately going to allow you to lead a higher fidelity life in better clarity, understanding what the hell is going on, alright? I can't do growth for you, but I can give you the awareness and the tools that I use to better understand growth, and then essentially grow more, bigger, faster, and stronger, alright? So, understand that whenever growth is taking place, you're either doing one of 2 things. You're either performing like a beast or reflecting like a beast, okay? The beast, which is you, is not always necessarily on the football field charging away. He's not always performing. He's not always invincible. He has times of reflection, and those times of reflection allow him to be more invincible than he was before he reflected. A big essence of masculine energy, which all of us have, men and women. We both have a sense of masculine energy. Some of us more than others, but we all have this thing called masculine energy. And a big characteristic of masculine energy, one of the primary traits of it, is expanding through boundary, expanding into freedom, pushing through, conquering, performing, getting the mission done, fucking completing that thing, expanding into freedom. But then wait, what happens after that freedom? The thing with masculine energy And the thing with expanding into freedom is that not only is it the desire for masculine energy and is the ultimate goal that you're willing to die for, but it's also the scariest fucking thing, because that reflectionary period, which is inevitable after a performance period, is scary. There's a lot of ambiguity. And what I'm going through right now is kind of scary. I'm having complete freedom, right? I had certain successes in the Tantra retreat. I made some great friends. I expanded my spiritual awareness. I got in touch with some amazing men and women. I developed relationships in ways and to depths that I've never had before. So I've experienced a good amount of success while here in Thailand, and then I have complete freedom to work on all my videos, to get everything done, to schedule people at any time of the day that I want, to sleep in or go to bed whenever I want. And I have a crazy amount of freedom. I don't even have to think about money necessarily while I'm here right now in this period, okay? And so I've broken through barriers, expanded into freedom, and it's like, holy fuck. What am I doing? What am I doing? Should I make this video? Where should I make this video? Should I make it on top of a mountain? Should I make it on the beach? Where should I do it? What are people thinking of me right now? How am I being perceived, and how can I live up to the videos that I made in the past? This is the shit that I'm dealing with. I can't believe I'm actually telling you this right now. This is deep. This is like in there. How do I live up to the videos that I made before? How do I live up to the expectations that people have for me? Where am I right now? And where do I need to go? Okay? Now notice that this is fucking frightening because I just had so much success. And you might be thinking, and you've probably heard of it happening in your life and in other people's lives around you, where you hit a success, you go through it, and you're like, fuck yeah, and you level up. You do shit that you couldn't do before, you level up, and then you're coast, and then it's like, and people get dropped back down after success. And I think the primary reason that I've done it, the primary reason that anybody does it, you, us as a team, the reason that happens is because we just merely don't understand what the fuck growth really looks like. We don't understand the aspect of growth that has to do with reflection. Because what happens in these reflectionary periods that are inevitable after you break through and level up, they're inevitable, okay? They're gonna happen. They don't necessarily take as much time. The time period isn't necessarily as long. So we're just gonna talk quantity right now. It's not necessarily as long as a period of time when you're conquering, whether it be a semester, 2 semesters at school, a year at work, some project that you have, okay? Get the point. It's not necessarily as long period-wise, but quality-wise, it's as long or as intense, if not more intense, from what I noticed. In my life, these reflectionary periods generally happen over the span of like 4 or 5 days, up to 2 weeks, and I'm going through the most intense one right now. Why is that? Because I've had the most intense success of my life up until now, all right? So they work in tandem together, and they kind of reflect each other. The reflectionary period, not to use the same word over, but they mirror each other, all right, a little bit better. The reflectionary period mirrors the performance period. So if you crush, you conquer, you fucking dominate through whatever you couldn't do before, and you gain that ability, you expand your character, you stretch the rubber band. You heard me use that term before. All right, you stretch the rubber band. There's a bit of contraction because it kind of fucking hurts, and you're like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on? It's like if you're a snake and you start growing and evolving, and you grow and expand into the size that you weren't before, well, you're gonna have some fucking snake skin hanging off of you as you go through, and it's like, oh my god, there's snake skin, there's dead shit falling off me, oh my god. And from there, if you don't know what the fuck's going on, you don't have certain awarenesses, then you're gonna get freaked out and you contract back. Be like a natural snake and just keep fucking driving. I'm gonna explain about that a lot more, but I just wanna kind of describe the relationship between the two, because it's very important to note how the reflectionary period relates to the performance, okay? It's inevitable and it's essential for the next step of performance and conquering to take place, okay? But it's fucking frightening, and I'm asking myself all these questions. I'm asking myself, do I still want to be making YouTube videos? This is the biggest passion that I've ever had in my life. Do I still want to be making videos? And if I do, what value can I bring to the world that isn't already out there? That's fucking challenging, man. That makes me uncomfortable just to prick that wound. But it's essential. I mean, it's so essential. You can see people that don't ask themselves these questions, and it's like, bro, you lost your flair. You lost your mojo. You're just being like everybody else. You're less unique now, okay? Because you didn't evolve with yourself, with the growth and performance that you're able to achieve over time. It hurts. And it's this pain, and I just want to be able, fortunately with video, I can show you firsthand how I'm feeling. I can tell you overtly, but I also want to communicate to you through my body language and through my eyes, through the fucking are you sensing that I'm feeling a bit of weirdness now? I don't have the same sort of energy, I don't have the same sense of presence on camera. I may not be direct as I was before. Do you get that? What's wonderful about video is that I convey to you my energy. Not only is this, an audio, and not only is this writing on a page, but I can actually, you can almost be here with me. This is basically the closest thing to me downloading what I'm feeling into your brain. It's the best I got. I don't have 3D, I don't have the ESP or whatever it is. I can't download myself into your brain. This is the best I got. But I just want you to, understand what I'm saying overtly, but covertly. I have a video on this. Covertly, I want to communicate to you how I'm feeling, because these reflectionary periods are fucking weird. And you're probably saying, wow, Evan is human. Wow, Evan does go through this shit too. I mean, he's conquering and doing all this cool stuff in other parts of his life during other parts of time, right? But he does go through these weird periods where he's questioning. And so I'm asking myself these questions. I'm asking myself what I want to produce. How can I be of better value to those around me? That's a big question. And am I being of good enough value to those around me now? These are hard questions. It is really hard for me to answer myself, and I don't do a good job of answering them semantically. It's more of a feeling, and meditation is a wonderful tool that allows these questions to get answered, not by me finding and seeking, climbing towards the answer, but allowing the answer to come to me. Meditation is one of those tools that I use in these reflectionary periods. And I'm gonna this is probably the next part of this video, is I would be fucked if I didn't have certain tools in my tool belt that allow me to interpret these reflectionary periods. And these tools aren't necessarily techniques either. Meditation is a technique. Tantra yoga is a technique. Writing is a technique. But another set of tools is understandings, okay? And if you haven't watched the video about intellectual and experiential understandings yet, coupled with exposure, those are going to be of great value to you and provide some context for what I'm about to talk about. But understandings can be your tools. Awareness can be your tool. And I can't meditate for you. And I can't give you these techniques. You have to develop them for yourself. I can tell you about them, and that's what the awareness part is. I can tell you about them, but you're gonna have to pursue them yourself, okay? But you wouldn't be able to pursue them if nobody told you to go meditate, if nobody told you to start understanding resonation. So, let's begin. Resonation is one of those awarenesses and understandings that I use to cut through the bullshit and better interpret and better utilize, ultimately, these reflectionary periods. Resonation. Another one is integrity. Another one is purpose. And the last one I'm going to talk about is alignment. These four things are big. They work together in your tool belt collaboratively. I know I talk about how A and B, alpha and beta work together in tandem, and those are just two things, but these four things all work together in tandem with one another in your tool belt, okay? And I think each one deserves its own video where I go in depth, deep on each one, but I'm going to do my best to kind of wrap them all together in this video, and maybe I'll make sequential videos about each one, because they've allowed me to reflect, and they've allowed me to achieve the success and the performance that I have. When I moved to Las Vegas, I hit a reflectionary period right after I got there, because I just got the job that I never was able to get before. I just got the finances and the financial security. I had better relations with my parents, okay? And I was doing things that I wasn't previously able to do. And I go there and I hit a success and I'm like, fuck yeah. What the hell's happening? It happens to a lot of us. And so I hit that and hit the reflectionary period, and it was hard. I mean, it was really hard. But after that, you can see the development in my channel. I start talking about what I'm learning. I start making videos about what I'm better at, social skills, and I start teaching social skills. That happened, those series of videos, and the series of videos that I'm going to create in the future about social skills happened from that reflectionary period. And that is some of the greatest content, personally I believe, that is some of the greatest content that I have ever put out in my entire life. Not only in the past 2 years making videos, but ever. I mean, it's some of the greatest value that I've ever shared with the world ever, okay? And that performance, and I crushed it, fucking crushed it. I'm very happy with what I did. But that would not have been able to happen and take place if I didn't ask myself these questions. And they're really, like I said before, they're really uncomfortable. Now, when I ask myself these questions, and when the world asks these questions of you, I mean, it's not necessarily just myself, but it's also, you know, kind of just everything asking me these questions, and I feel the need to ask them myself, but it's a reaction, it's a response from everything around us, right? So when I ask myself these questions, which is inevitable in these reflectionary periods, there are certain things, some of the 4 tools that I use to cut through the bullshit and better interpret them so that I don't fall off the deep end and that I can get back up and then crush it even more, right? And hit a new one, go to Costa Rica and make some phenomenal videos about love, all right? So, one of those is resonation. Now, resonation is an interesting topic, an idea, because it has feet in both sides of the aisle. It has a foot in the type A. You play a guitar, it resonates, scientific perspective, but also resonation, you know, you have spiritual resonation, and it goes in and it delves into the more spiritual, all right? And a lot of people that are type A don't resonate with some ideas that have to do with spirituality, and some of the spiritual people don't get the kind of scientific mumbo jumbo of the scientific community, all right? And those are 2 ways to describe the fact that I understand both parts of it. I have a certain understanding of resonation that enables me to collaborate both sides of the aisle into an understanding and a presentation for you so that you fully get resonation. Each person and everything kind of has a vibration, all right? Now, I know what you're thinking. Some of you are probably thinking like, okay, vibration, we get it. That rock's vibrating. Yeah, it's fucking vibrating big time. Okay, I mean, like, fucking go jump off a cliff. I get that. Not everything is vibrating the way that we see them. But just think of it conceptually. Everything is vibrating, not because it's moving around, but when certain things come into contact with each other, that vibration links up and they resonate to a greater frequency than either one by themselves, okay? And that resonation collaborates, okay? I'm gonna come back to the idea of collaboration in another video, all right? But just understand it in the most basic terms. It collaborates. So, on one hand, let's look at it in the more spiritual energy kind of side. Resonation, if I am at a certain place in my life and I meet another person who's at a very similar place in their life, not age-wise, all right? I connect a lot with 30 and 40-year-olds. If they're at a certain place in their life, we will resonate with each other. And that can be felt, a nice ping, or a nice way to look at that, to realize that you're resonating with something, is if you feel a bond. If you start doing stuff together, you start agreeing with each other on certain topics, and you start talking about similar shit. You have a lot of stuff in common. Another way to think of it is that when you resonate with somebody, or another person, or even if you resonate with yourself, that person is a like-minded individual, and you're on the same bandwidth, all right? In, scientific resonation, a way to think of it is if I play an A chord, or I play the note A on a guitar, and he plays the note A on guitar, it's gonna sound twice as loud, okay? They're not competing with each other, because if you played B on that guitar, the volume would stay completely the same, but if he plays A, it actually goes up. You have those waves, all right? When they meet up, they go whoosh, up and down. It gets louder. The volume increases, right? So it's 2 ways of thinking about the idea of resonation. Now, like a scale on the guitar, you have different notes. And that applies not only to physical resonation, but also energetic resonation, which is kind of what I'm going to talk about more in this video as far as interpreting reflectionary periods. Like the scales in a guitar there's 8 notes, alright? And it just so happens that there are 8 notes, but 7 different ones. Because you have like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but G is the 8th one. No fucking way, wait. No way! Wait, are you fucking kidding me? G's not the 8th one, G's the 7th one. That means that it works out perfectly. What? Alright, check this out. I just realized this is fucking mind-blowing right now. Alright, so on a guitar, on any sort of musical instrument that resonates, you have 7 notes. Or you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. in a musical scale. All right, I get it, you have like flats and sharps, that's cool, but for simplicity's sake, you have 7, and then you go back to A, and that's the 8th one, it repeats. It just so happens, I literally saw that on camera, I just realized that on camera, that there are 7, I was about to say that there are 7 levels of energetic resonation. How fucking crazy. Alright, it's weird how this shit aligns. Okay, at the bottom, think of it like a scale. You have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, blah, blah, blah. In the energetic resonation, you have apathy, then it goes to anger, and then it goes to contentness, and it goes to happiness. I think then it goes to peace, joy, and then love is at the top, if I'm not mistaken. The content of it is not necessarily too important. I should look back on that before I make a video about it. I get that, alright, but bear with me. The content is not important, it's just understanding the scale itself, okay? So we have this scale, and everybody has some sort of vibration, and where that vibration, whatever your vibration is where you're at on that scale, okay? That's the best way that I can kind of display it to you, alright? You have this scale, you have Evan's head in the middle, alright? And you're going up, you're going up, you're going up, and at the top, there's love. At the bottom is apathy. It just so happens that the scale of A starts with apathy, and then it goes up to G, which you could think of as God. Alright, I'm not going to say God, but you get love. Now, I'm going to get back to what, don't worry, I'm going to pull this back to why it's a tool in the tool belt for reflectionary periods. But understand that there's this scale of resonation, and we as humans usually rest on 1 or 2. We never really rest on 3 or 4, but we rest on like 1 or 2 wavelengths, okay? So if I start talking to you, for example, if I tell you the word happiness, how do you feel? Do you feel stronger with that word? Do you feel more energized with that word? I know it's just a word, but do you feel stronger with that word? Does that word resonate with you? There's not really another way to say that other than, does this word resonate with you? Just feel it. I mean, can you feel the word happiness? Sadness, does that resonate with you? Can you connect with that? If I say anger, does that resonate with you? It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, we probably got 5 other videos on the side column right now, and a bunch of other shit that you could be doing right now, and your brain's probably blah, blah, blah. When I'm watching YouTube, it's really scattered, so I get that. But for the sake of simplicity, just try to think and try to feel what you resonate with more. If I say the word love, does that resonate with you? Can you connect with that? Now, it's kind of hard to see it within ourselves, but once we can see resonation happening in other people or between us and other people, then we'll be able to see it within ourselves and understand where we're at, okay? And then I'll get into why it's a tool. But on the scale of resonation, you're going to resonate with different frequencies, and you're not going to resonate with other frequencies, okay? And as you move up in presence, you ascend and you go towards love, okay? But it starts at apathy and it rises to anger. Another way to think of it, I'm gonna give you another example. If I tell you something that's really, really fucking insightful, that'll truly benefit your life, alright? If I give you some solid advice that deeply resonates with you, okay? First, it's gonna start off as apathy, depending on where you're at. But it's going to start off as apathy, and this is something that I deal with all the fucking time. And this is why it ties in so closely to resonance, these reflectionary periods. Because during these reflectionary periods, I'm learning a lot, and I'm having to realize things about myself, but it's fucking hard to digest that. It's hard to respond to these answers to questions that are so deeply rooted in who you are. So you become apathetic. And so I might realize that I have to change something about my daily routine, about the videos that I make, and that in the past I wasn't doing the best content and I could have been doing it better this way, but if I do it better this way, that's wonderful. But at the same time, I'm like, fuck, I could be doing it better this way, and I'm almost apathetic and I almost want to ignore it. I almost want to ignore it and just be oblivious to it and just push it out. From there, we rise above apathy and we go to anger. And anger is realizing it. So the level between apathy and anger, that's a big level up. Big level up. Because you're realizing and you're acknowledging it for what it is. Okay? If I tell you calm down and you get more angry, well, that's kind of better. That's almost better than you just being like, yeah, no, I should calm down. Because when you're angry and I tell you, just dude, it's all good, be chill, and you're like, no, I'm not gonna be chill. It happens to me too. I'm not gonna be chill. It's a sign, it's a ping, you'll be able to see this now. It's a resonation sign that you understand that you should be more relaxed in this situation, but you're not able to, and it would go against what you're about right now, which is anger. What's worse than that is not being able to realize that you should be relaxed in an angry state. Okay? These are just kind of examples for you to get the gist, alright? From apathy, we go to anger, and anger is realizing, it's me realizing that I have to change something about the channel, about the way that I speak to the camera, about my appearance, about my delivery, or about the way that I interact with the world, or anything about me. I have to change, and then I could level up in this way if I just implemented this sort of information, right? That's tough. That's tough when you've been doing and you've been living your life a certain way, and then you get fucking angry. It's like, fuck, I don't want to do that. What the fuck? Why did this happen? Why am I going through this reflectionary period? God damn it, what the... I've been using a lot of F-bombs. I'm going to try to curb that a little bit, alright? You're welcome, Mom. Cool. So, you're getting angry, and it's like, alright, it's alright. From there, you kind of accept it, and you get past the anger. A great way to do that is meditation. A great way to move through the ranks of resignation is meditation. It's a very, 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 very useful technique, and for me, it's allowed me to just kind of sidestep the whole anger, apathy part of it. Then you go into contentness, and you're kind of content with the fact that you need to kind of move around. Alright, you need to change some stuff. But with resignation, the thing that you have to understand, and this is the key point about resignation, is that you can only really resonate with one or two things at a time. It's only in our capacity, alright? So, if I play an A chord on the guitar, an A note on the guitar, well, not chords, just one note on the guitar, alright? It's an A note, and somebody plays an A flat, it sort of resonates. It's not as bad as playing like a G, or a B, or a C, or a D. Okay, that shit's like a foreign language to an A note, and that shit's gonna clash. An A chord, an A flat could kind of collaborate with an A note. You know what I'm saying? It's like just flat. Just flat. An A flat is just off the A. But if you play an A, it's going to spike. The big thing to understand is that you're only going to resonate with another A note if you yourself are at an A note. If you're at a G, if you're at an E, if you're an F, you're still going to resonate with that. And it goes beyond just the energetic levels like I talked about. I want to take the music, I want to take the energetic levels and put them together into an understanding of life, okay? We resonate with certain frequencies. We resonate with certain people at different parts of our life, okay? And we will resonate with ourselves in different ways throughout our life. Understanding this, we can better use that in the reflectionary period. And what's going to happen after you hit success is not only are you going to get a lot of love from people, but you're also going to get a lot of hate. Because as you perform and as you become more who you are and you're putting out better content, you're able to share who you are. You're having more, I'm going to get into integrity, but you're having more integrity with your work and for the people around you. There are going to be people and there are going to be forces out there where they're going to love you a lot more, they're going to resonate with you a lot more, but also you're going to be polarizing and you're going to push certain other people away. Not necessarily like pushing, but it's going to fall away like the dead skin on a snake. So, how this relates to the reflectionary period is that not everything and not everybody is going to stick with you. You're going to evolve. And as you crush it, as you perform, you are purifying yourself. You're essentially purifying yourself. As a snake grows, it's purifying itself and it's ridding itself of that dead skin. What happens to me and what happens to a lot of us is that we don't realize that that dead skin is just a sign of growth. It's not necessarily desirable because you don't want to lose something that you used to have, right? We don't want to just lose a lot of stuff. We want to gain. But in order to gain, we do have to shed off some extra baggage, okay? Now that extra baggage should be fucking frightening. And it is to a lot of people, and it has been to me. And if I didn't understand that it's natural to grow and it's natural to shed this stuff off, I'd be fucking frightened and I would not be able to grow more. I would not be able to shed off more skin in the future, alright? That's resonation. And the big thing with resonation is that the more you embody who you are, the more alpha you get, the more you will not resonate with other people. Before, you were like an A flat, and a B all at the same time. You were this shitty, messed up chord. As you perform, you understand yourself a bit better, you start crushing, you start breaking into freedom, and you start expanding, you start growing, you become more centered like a dagger, you become pure. And instead of being 3 notes at the same time, you gently decrease it to 2. and then eventually to 1, and you're this pure note. And what happens is that, yes, all this shit, all the A flats, all the Bs, all the Gs, they kind of drift off into the background because they're pointless and they're useless. They don't add to you. They're not collaborating with you, right? The people and the things that are a pure A note do resonate with you, and you can stretch that volume. You will be loud as fuck. Oh my God. And you collaborate so much more. And it's fucking scary because all this other shit isn't going to make any sense to you, but that one thing that does make sense to you, and that one thing that you derive your life purpose on, when you meet other forces that are on the same path as you, you will unite in ways and degrees far stronger than you ever knew otherwise, far stronger than you knew before. And that's what's happening to me. And so being on this island, being on Koh Phangan, it's kind of a magical island, but I have been aligned with like-minded individuals to such a crazy degree. This is a good degree, good crazy, to such a crazy degree that sometimes I ask, am I fucking hanging out with another Evan? Are you me? Are we the same? Like, we derive so much value from the same things. We're on the same bandwidth. We share so many values and principles in our lives. What the hell is going on? I mean, this is great, and we could create some awesome stuff. And I've had some bonds here with people that have been to unprecedented levels. Really. I mean, Zion is one of them, and I had him on the show, and I wanted to present him because we were just fucking on the ball together. And this is a sign in my life that I am just going whoosh, and I'm being taken up, and I'm expanding with other people that are on the same bandwidth, the same resonation that I'm with. And at the same time, while being here, I meet people that are just like, An interesting thing about this island is it has people that are very like-minded to me, and also the more hedonistic partier types. Now, I have nothing against them, all right? I think they're wonderful, and I've been in that place myself too. I used to live in Vegas. I'm actually going back there, and I'm surrounded by them all the time. I get that. I think they're wonderful people. We're just not on the same bandwidth, and that's totally fine. And they have their pursuits, and they're justified in every single part of their lives, and I think they're perfect. And guess what? I love them. But we're just not on the same resonance, okay? And so when we hang out, not as much is going to be exchanged. We're not going to create as much of a connection. I still love them, right? That's not conditional. It doesn't matter if I'm the same resonance with them. I still love them, right? Yeah, you get that. But we're not able to collaborate. It's not even like competition. It's just like we're not able to collaborate. We don't meet on the same places. And it's not really worth my time to hang out with them because, well, we're not collaborating. Whether it be energy, information, projects, we're not growing together because we're not on the same bandwidth, okay? And this has happened to me throughout my life in different sort of degrees. Right now, it's pretty fucking evident to me. I'm like, wow, I definitely don't resonate with that person. Maybe they're not ready yet. Maybe I'm not ready yet. It doesn't fucking matter. That's okay. It's okay that we don't resonate with each other. And the fact that we don't resonate with each other is a sign that I am becoming more pure, I am growing, and subsequently, I am polarizing. I am polarizing. And that's something else, and that might be a completely different video. It might have its own vlog episode on this channel, okay? Polarization. But the whole thing with resonance is that as you grow, you have to be willing, you have to recognize the fact that you're not going to grow, and not everybody is going to grow with you. Some people are going to fall off like dead skin. Those that matter will grow with you, and you'll collaborate in magnanimous ways. Those who don't matter, don't mind, it's all good, they're still people, you can still love them, you can still appreciate what they do and the love that they bring to life. But it's just like, you're not going to work together. You want to work with somebody who wants to work with you. And this is when we get into integrity. Okay, so this is how it's related. Hopefully at this point you understand resonation. We're going to delve into integrity. And integrity is something that I'm especially using to cut through the knife of bullshit during this reflectionary period. Okay? Integrity. When you think of integrity, you probably think of how you act when nobody's watching. Who you are when nobody's watching. And here's the most fucked up part about this. Integrity is who you are when everybody's watching. At least I think so. Integrity is who you are when everybody is watching. Like I said, some people will drift off, but some people, as you become more pure and you grow, you will resonate with certain people a lot more. and other people a lot less, okay? When you hang out with somebody, you want to hang out with somebody that wants to hang out with you. You do. I'm telling you what you want. Seriously. I'm not bullshitting. I'm going to tell you what you want. You want to hang out with somebody who wants to hang out with you. I want to hang out with somebody only if they want to hang out with me. This is essentially integrity. It's a different way to look at it. Because I respect myself enough and I have self-integrity, inner integrity, to such a degree that I will stand for nothing less than people who only want to be with me for the way that I make them feel. They don't want to hang out with me because I have a cool camera, or I have a cool microphone that has a little fuzzy thing on top of it, or if I make cool videos on top of mountains, or if I pull my hair back, okay? Or the clothes I'm wearing, the Ferrari that I don't have, okay? You get what I'm saying? I don't want them to hang out with me for anything I really do or anything that I have. I want you to hang out with me and engage with me for the way that I make you feel. And it just so happens that with video, we can express ourselves and make other people feel to a much greater degree than with books or just podcasts or just magazines or whatever, right? This is a wonderful medium where I can express and you can kind of feel me. And I want you to hang out with me and engage with me only if you truly enjoy hanging out with me. And getting back to integrity is that integrity is respecting yourself enough to not hang out with people that you're not truly interested in. It's saying no to the shit. It's saying no to the bullshit that doesn't matter in order to say yes to that which does matter. Because when you say yes to one thing, you are absolutely and simultaneously saying no to something else. And that was a big mindfuck when I was working with Natalie. Natalie, I said yes to her project. I became her videographer in her yoga course. And one night after filming, eating some omelets, I had fucking 3 omelets. She bought me dinner. It was wonderful. And she was like, you know, you have a lot of integrity. I really appreciate the integrity that you express within your life. And I was like, thank you, Natalie. Could you elaborate a little bit more? And she's like, well, yeah. I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I just want to share this with you so you can see it within yourself, all right? So she's like, yeah, I like the integrity that you display because you're able to say yes to the things that you do find meaningful. But I don't know if you know this, Evan. When you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. And I was like, yeah, I kind of recognized that. And I had that in the back of my mind all this time, I suppose. But I never heard it semantically out loud said. And it is so true. It is so true. When you're in times, and when I'm in times of reflection, integrity is a very, very sharp knife that cuts through the bullshit of these reflectionary questions and having to aim and realign where I'm going to go. Because integrity, the understanding of integrity, allows me to understand where I find my time worth it. Not only where, but who's worth my time and what is worth pursuing. And a good way to bounce that off myself is, does these people and does that want to hang out with me? Do they want to engage with me? Do they want to receive my information? What do they want that I have to offer? All right? And why are they engaging with me? It's super big. Let this, sleep on this, all right? Watch this, lock in, that's great, but just sleep on this because it's something that's going to play out in 2 weeks and you'll be like, oh my God, that's what Evan was talking about in that video. It's fucking crazy. Integrity. I want you to hang out with me because you want to hang out with me and because you enjoy my time. And also, I want somebody that has choices, all right? I don't want you to be forced or feel guilty in order to hang out with me. I don't want you to pity me. I want you to hang out with me out of complete freedom to do whatever you want. Seriously, I hold my friends very fucking tight. If you know me in person, you know that you're my best friend, and you also know that you're not my best friend, okay? Those that are watching right now, you know that I love you. You know that I honor your time. I could be doing a lot of other shit than making this video right now. And integrity is that underlying baseline where it's like, yo, you're worth it. You're worth it because I respect you, and because I respect you and I'm giving you something to somebody that I respect, I'm respecting myself, okay? If I didn't think that you were worth it, I would not be making this video right now. Integrity is one of those tools that we can use to better understand where we need to go. All right? Integrity. I'm going to come back to that later, maybe in another video. But resonance and integrity. Another thing is alignment. Alignment goes very, very well with resonance in the sense that those that are with you will align and unite with you, and those who do not will drift away like fog on an afternoon. Note, it's not necessarily they're not lining up with you and they're not aligning with you. It's also you're not aligning with them. Goes both ways. All right, you're not the center of the fucking universe. Neither one of us is the sun. The sun's really bright. It's right over there. Not everything is revolving around either one of us. Okay? We're all the same and relate to each other in very similar ways. Not only is somebody else not aligning with me and we don't resonate, that person doesn't resonate with me, but I also don't resonate with them. You get what I'm saying? Nobody's really pushing each other away. Nobody's pulling one another towards them. Okay? This distance is a kind of like a mutual separation. And it's fucking freaky to watch. That's a big point. It's freaky to watch, but don't get freaked out. The last one that we're going to talk about is purpose. Now, I made another video. That video is also on a mountaintop. It's in Switzerland, and I'm very pleased with the way that that thing came out. I think you should watch that to understand your life's purpose. Okay? That's not what I'm going to go over. What I'm going to go over is that your life's purpose can change, and it should change, because as ever-evolving creatures, change is inevitable. And one of the things that changes within us is our values. We start to resonate with different things. We start to align with different people, all right? And our degree of polarity expands and contracts, okay? And that's ever happening. That is inevitable. Change is always going to happen. So your purpose will change, and it should change as you grow. The purpose of this channel has changed as my life experience has evolved. As I've gone through new experiences, I've had exposure to certain experiences. As I've done new shit and met new people, as I've pursued new polarities and new degrees of freedom, as I broke through and performed, that sense of purpose will change. That's all I really want to give to you. And it should change if you're growing. And what you might notice is that it will change and become more intense, and every single time you go back to a performance period, your sense of purpose should and will naturally, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to be more intense. Your sense of purpose when you start performing after every sequential performance period will enhance. Okay? You will execute with far, far greater purpose. And that's going to happen with the help of reflecting on what you find valuable and meaningful. And a great way to do that is understanding who you're resonating with, who you're not resonating with. What do you find integral? The integrity in your life, your level of integrity towards yourself, the integrity that you have with other people, the polarity that you can see between you and other people. In the video about purpose, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I explained to you why my purpose in life is my purpose. Why, and then I'm going to tell you what it is. Okay? In this video, I'm going to tell you what it is and then why it is. And then I'm going to wrap things up. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to soothe my throat. I'm going to chill. My life's purpose is to further perpetuate meditation throughout the world. That's it. On one hand, it could be super scary for me to be able to semantically communicate the whole meaning of my life. The entire meaning of my life can be summed up in one sentence. Now that is fucking frightening. That is nerve-wracking once you think about that. My entire life, you know the essence of my entire life. I just told you that. How fucking freaky is that? For me to say it, it's nerve-wracking. Okay? It's not right now, but it was when I first realized it. It's not now because I realize and I understand the things I just talked about in this video. But to be able to do that at first is nerve-wracking, and the only way that I'm able to say that is because I've had deep, deep periods of reflection coupled with performance and execution. And then after that, some more reflection. And then hammer down, conquer, dominate, carry through. And then I'm in a reflectionary period now, okay? And my sense of purpose will be enhanced after this reflectionary period, okay? But it's fucking freaky to be able to say your entire life's purpose in a matter of 5 seconds, in a matter of a dozen words, to you, to somebody else. To sum my essence of life up in one sentence is freaky. I get that. And just like a snake shedding its skin, it shouldn't get freaked out at that. It's actually something wonderful, because when I tell you that, even though it's kind of scary for me, and if you imagine you doing the same for yourself, it's kind of scary, but me telling you my life's purpose, that with that clarity, you feel, I know you feel, a sense of power, of massive, massive, abundant power on my end. And these reflectionary periods ultimately allow you to increase your power. As you grow, your power and your sense of influence increases, okay? When you stretch the rubber band of your character, your capacity, your potential, your power gets expanded. You do stuff that you couldn't do before. Your capacity, your power enhances. And you can feel that. When I sum up my life sentence, the purpose of my life is to further perpetuate meditation throughout the world. I just summed up my entire life like a little box. Here's a present. Here it is for you. But at the same time, it's fucking magnificently powerful. Because those who do not matter and those who don't resonate with meditation and teaching other people how to be more present, that's totally fine. Alright? That's wonderful that they don't do that, because it saves room for those that do. And those that do feel the same way about life and who have very similar purpose, I will lock arms with them, lock arms stronger, tighter than I've ever locked arms with another person before, and we will charge into the sun that's fucking blinding me right now. The more that I shut away that of which does not matter, the more I'm able to pursue and perform on what does matter. And it's these understandings that allow me to make this video. It's these understandings that allow me to embrace and fully utilize these reflectionary periods. It's these understandings that allow me to understand my life's purpose. Because when you have a purpose in life, it becomes ridiculously easy to make decisions. It becomes ridiculously easy to say, no, I'm not going to dinner with you. And they're like, why? It's like, well, I don't want to. And they're like, oh, boo-hoo, oh, what the fuck, man? I'm like, I'm sorry, I mean, do you want me there if I don't want to be there? And they're like, well, no, you didn't have to say it like that. It was like, well, I kind of did. I mean, I could tell you that I have to go on a call or something, or I have to go to Zen Beach because I'm meeting up with somebody. All right, I could tell you that. I'm grabbing a coconut over there. I'm going on a hike. I won't be back in time. But guess what? I'm going to be doing nothing. I have complete freedom over what I'm going to do today. I could schedule in for dinner, but guess what? I'm not going to, because I don't find you meaningful. Now, you don't have to explain the whole thing like that, but that is something that becomes much, much easier to convey to other people. Simultaneously, the people that do matter, it's really easy. If I didn't say it before, it's much, much easier to tell them how you truly feel about them, which is appreciation, gratitude, happiness, collaboration. It's much, much, much easier to tell somebody else how you truly feel about them when you find them meaningful. It's very, very easy. And that's a whole other subject that I can go into, is the ability to tell somebody else how you truly feel about them, the integrity that you display when you do so, and the integrity that they give to you when you do so, and the whole collaboration of integrity that goes on when you tell somebody how you truly feel about them. It's a whole other video, but understand that there's massive integrity when that happens, and it becomes ridiculously easy, and you can hurt some people's feelings. Alright? The whole ability of socializing and social skills is kind of like to kind of numb out and tone down those hurt feelings. All right, there's ways to do that. It's called a feedback sandwich. I'll get into that later. But it becomes way easier to say no to that of which you don't find meaningful and say yes to that of which you do when you have a life's purpose. Okay? These reflectionary periods are wonderful. They hurt like crazy. It's like throwing acid all over me and not being able to move. I mean, it's not that bad. And it's times like these that remind me how grateful I am to be where I am. How grateful I am to have the tools and understandings, the techniques that I do. Because without Vipassana meditation, and now tantric yoga, I would not be able to cut through all the bullshit, all the insecurity. I wouldn't even be able to know what the fuck a reflectionary period was and be aware of it, to have that degree of self-awareness, to realize that I'm going through a reflectionary period. All right, without those tools, I mean, starting from the baseline. All right, but also for the understandings, for the awarenesses that I have about my life and the life around me, the lives of others, and the ultimate universe outside, in the external and the internal universe that's within me, it's within you, it's within both of us, and we share that together. We're sharing this life together. We're sharing this video together, all right? And I want to collab with those who I find meaningful, and I want those who find me meaningful to collab with me. I want them to engage with me. I want you to engage with me. YouTube is the best way that I know. If I could, I would say hi, knock on your front door, and open up your mind, download what I'm all about, and tell you, but I can't. The wonderful thing with video is that not only can you see where I'm currently at, but you can see the journey that's taken place within me, and then subsequently better realize it for yourself. I can tell you about what I did in the past, where I was at, what I might have acted like. But with video, you can just click on episode 35 or 46 or 92 or 95, which came right before this. And that's why I'm so psyched, and it's something that I've realized along this reflectionary period, is how powerful the showing part of video is. I can tell you this in a book, I can tell you this in an audio, but video allows me to convey my energy, and I can therefore allow you to feel me. From that understanding, from that reflectionary period, I will be able to better perform on what I find meaningful, and ultimately be of better value to you and to those around me who resonate on the same bandwidth. It's going to be freaky seeing people go to the waistline, even if they're family, even if they're brothers and sisters, or energetic brothers and sisters, not in my direct bloodline, because I don't have any brothers or sisters. It's fucking freaky. But it's okay. And you're okay. And you're perfect the way you are. I love you. I thank you for watching this. Thank you for being part of this video, the journey that I've taken on this video. I mean, not only is it cool to see it over time, but you can see what's going on throughout the video itself when it's long enough, when it's like 40 minutes too long than it should be, right? You can see that, and I want to thank you for taking part in this, because this video is kind of a new realm for me. I don't usually open up about my weaknesses. It's something that I'm learning to do. You can see it with my strange addiction. You can see it with the way that I listen to music. You can see it with the way that I'm being more vulnerable about how I used to smoke weed and certain areas of my life. And it's something that I'm coming into now, and it's something that I'm working through now. And this reflectionary period is allowing me to understand where I've come, how to interpret the new vulnerabilities that I've been able to do, and then better execute on them in the future. All right? So thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'm very excited for what I have to bring. I know what I need to do now. I have a better understanding where I'm at, the purpose in my life. It is magnified to a greater degree than before. I'm very thankful for this reflection, and ultimately, I need to end this video. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you take away one or two things from this video. I hope you have a better idea of where you're at, where you need to go, your life's purpose, because that's the greatest thing that I can give to another person, is helping them understand their purpose. Thank you. I love you. Just for the record, so one of the greatest backdrops I've ever had, I'm not shooting at. I tried to shoot over there. I don't know if you can see that, but it's on the side of a cliff, so it's not the most safe shooting location, and also I couldn't get the tripod set up in the correct spots just because of the slope of this rock. Yeah, this is what I'm standing on, by the way. So